glancing blow. Very little damage.
I cannot keep this up for long.
Their phaser banks are recharging. Now's our window. We have to strike back.
I agree.
Their next barrage could be our last. Better make this count.
Target their weapon systems. Take the teeth out of their bite.
That could make them run. Just like the Beskar, we'd lose Diaz and Etzelar again. Hit their engines. We've already lost the Beskar.
We need to protect ourselves first.
Target their weapon systems.
Hi, Captain. Firing torpedoes.
Whoa. We gotta move it now.
These will give us the push we need.
Those are explosives.
We'll ride the blast right out of here. All set.
I'll set the containment field to deactivate, then run back. We can detonate by remote.
We'll need to seal the doors from inside the container once we do.
Before all the air sucks out of the cargo bay.
Just a few more moments.
Hurry!
What are they doing in there? Please, help me.
No. Let the Khan get what they deserve.
Don't leave me to die.
I don't know. Can we really leave her?
We can't. We don't have the time. We have to seal ourselves in.
This ship has no weapons. Sidran's going to ram it into your Federation ships. Please, Amenta.
It's not her.
No. I know it's not.
Carter, we have to seal the doors.
Don't leave me.
Get this lifeboat off the ship before it can crash into the Resolute.
We're going.
Etzelar to Resolute.
I have the away team.
Go ahead.
We're about to exit.
We see the cargo bay containment field is deactivated.
Get that tractor beam ready.
Zeldy's coming about.
They're going to charge the Resolute.
Direct collision would be catastrophic.
We can't wait any longer. We have to fire.
Captain, they're almost out of there.
We need to act fast.
We can't wait for you, Petty Officer. Get out of there now!
Locked on and ready to fire.
Fire!
Done!
Ready?
Detonate!
Tractor beam's locked on. We have them. They'll They'll be pulled into the docking bay shortly.
There's something else. I tracked a transporter signal to the planetoid moments before the Zeldi detonated.
Sidron.
There's a Takan structure there. It's the reason they were here. It's the reason we are here. Now.
What's down there?
Answers.
From what I can tell, it's larger than the structure on Tau.
Is this the Takan arsenal Galvin was after?
Legend says this region once held the sacred mysteries of the Takan Empire. Our greatest treasure. Our most fearsome technology.
I want a full security detail. Westbrook, Resurgence, you're with me. Mr. Ermont, you have the con.
Wait. You're not the first officer anymore. The captain is supposed to stay with the ship. I'm surprised Lieutenant Bedrosian didn't raise that first.
I thought Captain Rydek knew what she was doing.
Are you trying to keep me on the sidelines, Commander Westbrook?
No. We've already lost a captain today. I don't want to lose another.
Then you better be on your game. We'll deal with the first officer vacancy when we return. Until then, Mr. Ermont?
Yes, Captain.
Any sign of Sidron?
Not that I can see.
High alert, everyone. The enemy could be anywhere. Follow my lead.
Let's make this a short mission, all right?
That's the plan.
You're on the front lines now. Don't make me worry. The phasers should make quick work of the ice. Is this another Takan vault?
I don't see a way in.
The vault in the mines was already open.
There must be some way to activate it.
Portal, can you open it? It is a Taconian vault.
I thought you'd never ask. You're welcome. Better to keep it simple. Sometimes the answer is staring you right in the face.
Thank you. Definitely easier this way. Spread out. Let's see what we can find. And stay on high alert. We don't know where the Takan that beamed down here could be.
You will need my help, Commander.
How so?
Traversal here is trivial for a Takan, but only a Takan. When you come across a device you cannot use, merely call my name.
Will do. Thank you. This pattern resembles the transporter device Petty Officer Maris used to escape the Resolute. Portal 6-3?
You wish to make use of this device?
It's a transporter of some kind?
It allows Takan to move through space instantly a short distance. Very convenient. I will activate the system for you.
Where does it go?
I'm not sure. The markings here must be from after my time.
Well, only one way to find out. Soil. Just soil. It's not from this planet, nor any planet in the Federation database. Why is this here?
This is soil from the homeworld. Our capital system. This isn't an arsenal. It's a temple of the ancients. Sacred ground to the Takan. I took my oath as a guardian of the Empire in a place just like this. You cannot imagine the look of pride in my parents' eyes as they said goodbye. Forever. Sorry. This is the first I've seen of anything new from the Takan Empire in a very long time. I'm sure you're familiar with the feeling. That sense of loss. I thought I was ready for it. But it cuts to the core of your being.
I'm so sorry to put you through this. I know it must be difficult.
Don't apologize. I'm glad I came. This means a great deal to me.
Can you use this to find out more about what Galvin is after?
The information's encrypted. I can only discern that it's a warship. No. It's the Aphelion. Perhaps the most powerful Taconian ship ever built. I can't access the full file, but looking through the ship's schematics, it appears to be equipped with some sort of experimental, highly advanced transporter technology.
Transporter technology? For what?
Captain, you better come see this. There are more up ahead.
From the looks of it, I'd say someone left in a hurry.
Probably right around the time we showed up.
I've seen these before, in the other vault. And if all of those are the same as this, then there must be...
Hundreds of millions, if not billions. All that remains of the Dakan civilization. Distinct person, encapsulated in crystalline form. Preserved for all eternity.
You thought this was an arsenal. And in a way, you're right. This is how they rebuild the Dakan Empire, and bioform billions of innocent people.
That seems to be the case. What you have to understand is, these life forms were preserved for the benefit of the Dakan civilization, as a means of safeguarding the health and well-being of any Dakan, should they fall prey to illness or injury. They were never intended to be used for this purpose.
There you are wrong. This was always their purpose, to restore the glory that was lost. Congratulations on your first victory in battle, Captain Rydek. You killed a great many of my compatriots, some that I've known for millennia. Are you proud of how much death you've caused? Each Dakan life is precious, irreplaceable. Centuries of knowledge and culture, lost with each one you murder.
I was protecting my crew. It's regrettable to take any life. But when someone threatens galactic civilization, force is the correct response.
And I suppose it worked. For now. Thankfully, I don't have to convince you of anything. We'll all be on the same side soon enough.
You can't just bioform whoever you want. Not without a fight.
Ah, but that's just it. There won't be a fight. In fact, most won't even know what's happened. 1 minute you're standing there as you. The next, you're standing here as one of us.
He's talking about mass transformation. That's what the Aphelion was built for.
The transporter. It'll reconstitute your DNA and bioform you into a Takan in the blink of an eye. This is what they'll use as ammunition.
In a manner of speaking, yes. Of course, that's the simple version. But the end result will be the same.
You're talking about a crime against sentient life on a mass scale.
Or an evolutionary process where the strongest and most capable survive. The Aphelion is on its way here as we speak. Now it's only a matter of time. You can't delay that which is inevitable. Which makes your next decision fairly simple, brother. You are, after all, a portal.
I am.
Your sole purpose is to serve as a guardian of the Takan Empire. But you stand here surrounded not by your fellow Takan, but by members of the Federation. By people who deny our fundamental right to exist. You swore an oath to protect the Empire. And I can only assume that's why you're here.
There is only one true Takan here, and that's Portal. You're a scion, a disgrace to the memory of the Takan, brought back through unnatural means.
I only tolerate your presence so long as you continue to amuse me. Which side are you on?
Captain Rydek, long-range sensors suggest a massive spacecraft approaching in the distance.
The time has come. I hope we speak again, brother.
Estimated time to contact, 6 minutes and counting.
We can't stay here. We have to get back to the ship.
And we have to preserve these souls. We must take them back to your ship.
Those crystals are ammunition to be used against us. We have to destroy them. Bombard the site from orbit.
I'll decide, once we're safely aboard the Resolute. For to transport.
You have to hear me out, Captain. I've always stood by you. I committed mutiny for you. But if you bring those things on board, I'll have no choice but to resign.
If they're taken to the Aphelion, they will be forged into new bodies, brought back to life in a way they never asked for.
They're not living beings, but they're still dangerous. And if you don't make decisions to protect us, we're gonna end up like Solano. You, me, the entire crew. We're all next.
Two minutes and counting. It's headed straight toward the vault. The Aphelion is coming into view now, Captain.
On screen.
Arrival at the second vault in less than a minute.
I would remind you, those life forms are Takan, not science. Takon. They're not your enemy.
Right or wrong, history will judge you for this moment.
Destroy the vault.
Aye, Captain. Firing photon torpedoes.
Target has been destroyed.
I am alone. Again. As I was for all those years.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, are you? Meaningless. Words do not unwind the clock.
Captain, the Aphelion is targeting us. Approaching rapidly.
They hit us with that bioforming ray, and it's over. Maximum warp. Get us out of here.
Where, Captain?
Anywhere but here. Now!
There they are!
You did what had to be done with the Tasker. You said you'd avenge her, and you did. Tasker can rest now. Even if I wavered in the moment. It wasn't a question of time. It was about freeing a Tasker.
I wish I could have found a way to save her.
You did.
No surprises here. But your shoulders separated. If you come with me to sickbay, we can get you fixed up in no time.
Thank you. I'll find you afterwards.
You two, check in at your stations. This thing isn't over yet.
She was a good little escape pod. Not that I want another ride like that anytime soon.
You're really making us proud out there, Diaz. The lower decks don't get a lot of glory.
I'm just getting started.
Hey, Diaz.
Yeah?
Did you see our people over there? Miranda?
Kapoor, Hauser.
We saw Miranda and Kapoor, but they're bioformed. And as far as I know, there's no way to undo it.
That means they're not our friends anymore.
If they attack us,
We'll have to stop them. No matter what it takes.
Yeah. I guess we have to be ready for that.
can't believe it, but I'm actually looking forward to seeing Chovak. Not that I'd expect this kind of welcome from him, but I can just imagine the look on his face.
You know what? I want to see him too. It'll be nice to get one piece of normalcy.
I'm sure we can count on him for that.
I can't believe it! You evaded the Takan, ejected their warp cores, and lived to talk about it!
That about sums it up.
They're gonna be teaching this at the Academy for years to come. I mean it. Everybody's gonna learn how you pulled it off.
Well, what we did, you can't just teach that.
Maybe not, but I'm sure they'll try. I heard about Belle. Is Miranda?
As far as we know, she's still out there.
Well, I know Captain Rydek will do her best to get her back.
Hold on. Rydek? What about Captain Solano?
He was turned into a Takan. Rydek had to take over. She's a hell of an officer, but none of us have been up against anything like this. No one has. Not in 500,000 years.
I guess there's never a dull moment around here, huh?
You telling me it's not always like this?
Not if we can help it.
Talk to you later.
It is agreeable to see you again.
Is that so?
It was by no means a certainty that you would return to duty here.
It is agreeable to see you as well, sir.
I concur.
You should know your absence has left engineering terribly short-handed. During your sojourn, this department has fallen unacceptably behind schedule, on both regular and irregular duties.
There's been a whole lot of irregularity going around.
I gotta admit, it's a little flattering that this place went to hell so fast without me. So, I'll take that as a compliment.
I believe factors other than your absence were also to blame. Normally, I would assign you to one of the many pressing repair tasks. But, given your experience on board the Zeldi, I have suggested you join the senior staff briefing as we determine our next course of action. You can commence your maintenance shift afterwards.
When I heard you destroyed the Takan vault, I was surprised.
By my order?
By myself? Surprised that I was glad to hear it. The Hotari do not wage war or kill our enemies if we can avoid it. But hearing that the Takan, who have decimated my people, took such a loss... Is it wrong that it feels like justice? We've lost so much to the Takan. Things we can never get back.
We sometimes have to take lives in the line of duty, but we can never take pleasure in it.
A necessary evil?
One of many.
It's coming along nicely. Thank you, Tylus. I'll take it from here. We're almost done.
I have to brief Ambassador Spock in a few minutes.
Ambassador Spock can wait. You have some fences to mend. I know you had your reasons for destroying the Draconian crystals, and I won't question them. Hopefully this galvanizes the bridge crew behind your leadership. But I expect there will be fallout with Portal. Assuming he's still with us, I sincerely doubt he's indifferent to what happened.
We can always agree to disagree. But as captain, once I've made a decision, I need you to support it.
Absolutely. I may not agree, but I'll stand by you and carry out your orders. Even if I don't like it. It's been a chaotic last few days for everyone. You need to name a new first officer in preparation for what's coming. It basically comes down to Westbrook, Ermot, or Bedrosian. Obviously, there are pros and cons with each. But ultimately, the decision is yours. Commander Westbrook has seniority and was hoping to be Captain Solano's first officer. Lieutenant Bedrosian has always been devoted to you. And Ermot has the knowledge and experience that makes him more than qualified. You really couldn't go wrong with any of them.
If I were to take everything into consideration, then Lieutenant Bedrosian feels like the perfect fit for the position.
Well, despite a lack of seniority, still a solid candidate. Some would argue, though, that you wanted to go the easy route. Someone less likely to disagree with you. But that's entirely your prerogative. You're as good as new.
Thank you, Dr. Duvall.
Always nice to have a captive audience. You really shouldn't keep Ambassador Spock waiting.
We'll have Ambassador Spock via subspace shortly.
Thank you, Mr. Ermot.
Petty Officers Diaz and Edsolar have first-hand experience with our adversaries. I thought it advantageous for them to join this briefing. I understand this is unusual, but I trust you have no objections.
Talk about moving up in the world. Not that I'm surprised in the least.
I'll allow it, Mr. Chobot.
In all seriousness, what Diaz and Edsolar accomplished aboard the Zeldi is nothing short of remarkable. They're both to be commended, not only for surviving against incredible odds, but for helping our efforts against these scions.
You know, Carter deserves most of the credit. None of us would have made it without his help. We'd all be bioformed by this point.
Well, I could say the same thing about Edsolar here. She deserves as much of the credit as I do.
It's like a mutual admiration society.
Ambassador Spock is ready for you.
Put him through.
Captain Rydek, your recent change in station certainly warrants mention, and I trust you to faithfully execute your expanded duties. Right now, we must keep our attention on the clear and present danger that lies ahead, the Takan and their warship. The closest populations are the Hotari and Elydian systems, and they are likely the first targets for mass bioforming. After that lies Federation space. I have advised Starfleet Command to send an impromptu battle group to intercept and assist you, but that will take time. You are our first line of defense. And with our shield algorithms compromised, we are at a great disadvantage. Of course, you know that as well as I do.
I'm glad to hear the battle group is en route, Ambassador. With what we're up against, we're gonna need all the help we can get.
And you will have it. Remember, our strength is drawn from our ability to work together towards a common goal.
Have we made any progress in finding a way to defend ourselves from the Aphelion's bioforming weapon?
Currently, our shields will not protect us, but I am compiling all of the information the away team gathered on the Zeldi and cross-referencing it against our own as well as Portal 6-3's methods.
The away team is sitting right here. They survived without getting bioformed, so we know it's possible. So, what's the secret? How do we defend ourselves? Is there a weakness we can exploit? Something we can do to avoid getting bioformed?
I wish I could tell you the solution, but the truth is, there is no easy answer. There's no defense against bioforming, one-on-one or on a mass scale. At least, not that I know of.
You may not be able to stop it, but it might be possible to slow it down. It's too soon to say for sure, but we've had some promising indications that Duridium can delay the bioforming process.
Duridium?
It's not a cure. It's not going to bring anyone back we've already lost. But Duridium is a cell stabilizer, so it has the potential to slow down the onset of physical and mental changes, if not entirely prevent them. And it might be the only ship in the fleet with this much Duridium on hand. In fact, a lot of ships wouldn't have any.
I'll forego the rest of my treatments, if it means the crew will be safe.
Captain, you'd die.
That's an honorable intention, but it's not that simple. It requires a much larger dose to be effective. We don't have enough Duridium on board to protect the whole crew. We barely have enough to protect everyone in this room.
Sounds like it won't do us much good then.
The use case I'd suggest is that he could buy a little time for an officer or a small group to complete a task or mission. But it has to be taken at the moment of exposure to the bioforming mechanism.
Prepare a delivery method for this remedy.
That raises the question. What is the mission?
The Zeldi's shields were stronger than anticipated. If the Aphelion has even more effective protection, we'll have difficulty breaking through.
We may not be able to block the Aphelion's attack either. But if they do strike, we know their weapon uses transporter technology. We might be able to backtrack their signal path.
Like we did to evacuate Captain Rydek from Tau.
Exactly. We could send an away team onto the Aphelion.
And destroy it from the inside. Modify photon torpedoes to use as explosives.
So it's like jujitsu. We use their attack and turn it against them.
That's the idea.
We'll keep thinking on it. I'd rather not have to take a direct hit to punch back. There might be some other way we can turn their strength into a weakness.
I'll have security personnel prep a boarding party, should the opportunity arise.
Petty Officers Edsalar and Diaz are the logical choices to lead any away mission to the Aphelion. They have already crippled one enemy ship. If anyone can do so again, it is them.
This isn't a rescue. It's a tactical incursion. Do you really have some special insights, as Commander Chovak suggests?
Doesn't the fact that we're here speak for itself?
Just surviving won't be enough this time.
Sabotage is kind of becoming our specialty. We'll find a way to get the job done.
Well, he certainly has the swagger for it.
If this is the necessary course of action, I support it.
With the help of Portal. He should be part of the away team.
I will compile all the latest data on the tricorders, just in case.
In the meantime, I want you working on ways we can combat the Takan tech. Shields, weapons, anything we can use.
Yes, Captain.
Anything else, Ambassador?
I know this matter is in capable hands. Hold the line as best you can. Help is on the way.
Thank you. I have faith in all of you to meet this moment with the urgency it requires. I expect all of us to give it everything we've got. Thank you, Petty Officers Diaz and Edsalar. You're dismissed.
While we have a quorum of senior staff, there is a procedural element we need to take care of. The Resolute command codes must be transferred to Captain Rydek for control of the ship.
Of course.
Computer, transfer all command codes to Captain Jara Rydek. Voice authorization Ermot, Echo 4 Lima.
Voice authorization Duval. Beta 2 Yankee.
Voice authorization Westbrook. Alpha 7 Tango.
Awaiting your authorization, Captain.
Voice authorization, Rydek. Bravo. 3. Whiskey.
Captain's codes transferred. The updated command structure is incomplete. Please designate a new first officer.
Who is the new first officer?
Please designate a new first officer. Please designate a new first officer.
It is my honor to name Lieutenant Bedrosian as the new first officer of the USS Resolute.
Wow.
Congratulations, Lieutenant.
I don't even know what to say. Thank you.
Computer, Lieutenant Bedrosian is the new first officer of the USS Resolute.
Awaiting voice authorization.
Voice authorization Bedrosian, Gamma 5-9.
Authorization is now complete.
Now, if you'll excuse me, there's work to be done.
Nicely done. I think that went well.
Captain Rydek!
Excuse me for a minute.
This is just unbelievable, unacceptable, inexplicable. To be the most senior officer on the bridge, and to be passed over again? I couldn't believe you went to Lieutenant Bedrosian with the information about Captain Solano being compromised instead of me. But this... I've never felt more humiliated.
Listen, I know you're disappointed. I would be too in your position. But considering our history and what we're up against, I had to decide what would be best for all of us. Which is why I chose Lieutenant Bedrosian.
And that is the greatest insult of all. One of the most junior officers on the bridge. Bedrosian doesn't have the experience to be an effective first officer. It'll never work. You might as well have chosen Handar. It doesn't make any sense. Bedrosian, of all people.
I'm sorry, Commander Westbrook, but my decision is final.
Ridiculous.
I don't understand. Giving everything she's got, it doesn't make a difference. Something is actively slowing us down.
Keep trying. What's the situation in engineering?
I can't raise them. Internal comms are down.
It's the ionic interference. It's spiking again. If we reinitialize the central communications trunk, it should compensate. I know the process, Captain. With your permission, I'll go handle it.
Of course.
The Ophelion's impressive. I'll give them that. If they catch up to us, we better be ready to fight. Maybe we can use Galvin's confidence against them. Somehow turn that to our advantage.
We can't fight them on their terms. We have to be clever.
We're being pulled out of warp!
I've got the Aphelion rapidly bearing down on our position.
We're being hailed by the Aphelion. Galvin demands to be heard.
On screen.
Captain Rydek. Destroying millions of Draconian lives was a fatal mistake. And I will personally make sure you stay alive long enough to regret it. You were right to run. But there is no escape from the inevitable.
Please, spare me your threats. We've all heard enough of your grandstanding.
I should destroy you now and be done with it. We both know I hold your fate in the palm of my hand. That I could crush you in an instant if I so desired. And as much as I'd like to, you have another purpose to serve. As one of us.
Red alert! Handar, get us out of here!
hit the lower decks. But there's no sign of structural damage.
They were targeting the crew, not the ship.
We have to strike back. While we still can.
Fire photon torpedoes! Target the source of the beam!
Photon torpedoes are having no impact, Captain. We can't get past their shields.
The Aphilion's just too powerful.
Damage report from the lower decks.
Still can't get through on the comms, Captain. If that was the bioforming ray, we have to assume there are now Takan on board the Resolute. They could all be Takan at this point. Or will be soon enough.
Get an urgent message to Starfleet Command. Tell them we've been hit by the Aphilion's bioforming ray. There may be hostile Takan aboard this ship.
I'll notify them at once.
Here are your new tricorders. Now go. Get to the transporter room.
On what side, Carter? Come on!
Transporter room 1.
You're coming with us?
A security officer told me your funeral, which I gladly accepted.
These are concentrated derivative doses. You need to take the dose as soon as you're exposed for it to be effective. Hell, take it right before if you can get the Takan to wait while you do it.
I'm having trouble locking onto the transporter path through the interference.
I've done this before. I have to align the transporter with the tetrametric signature. We need to tunnel through the shields. There's a problem. We don't have enough power to make the jump. I might be able to divert power from...
Stand aside. The signal is now resolved. I couldn't let you fumble about any longer.
Thanks for that.
No need. We must be on our way. I am Portal 6-3, Guardian of the Takon Empire.
Nice to meet you, Portal.
We're right behind you.
Do us proud over there. Ready to transport.
Energize.